you wonder why Hollywood is the way it is. You look at the way that their traditional relationships are, and their traditional relationships are not very traditional. Angelina Jolie says she did not feel that fidelity was necessary in her now broken marriage with Brad Pitt. She says, quote, "We never restrict each other." What I've come to realize is that all of them, they put all of this under the guise of like, we're more highly evolved, we know better, we're open and honest with each other, but it always just comes off as like we just want to do whatever we want.
This message of non-monogamy seems almost totally universal from Hollywood, and it's something that I don't think normal people resonate with. Normal people want monogamous relationships.
There's a $20 one right there.
From Omni Travis. Hey, thanks for showing Hunter today. He got to see himself on screen. It was great. Good show as usual. Did he attack the screen?
Did he cry from his representation finally being on screen, just like all the mermaids?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it was. And you're welcome, my friend. Thank you. I want to point out that you're right. The first thing I think of when I see this is this. Look, this is a luxury. It's a facade. It's a luxury that's only afforded to rich people. Normal people who just get into relationships because they want to find somebody that they care about, love, get married, have kids, so that they can start a life together. It's about building that life together. It's not about some type of like a la carte menu of romance.
Even monogamous relationships among ordinary people that are relatively meaningless and not directed towards eventually getting married or having a family they still at least maintain the pretense of monogamy and exclusivity. And when you go outside of that relationship, have sex with other people or whatever, it is cheating. It's called something, and it's not just a free-for-all.
Well, she says, I doubt that fidelity is absolutely essential for a relationship. Well, all of history would tell you that you're wrong, Miss.
It's like Jordan Peterson says, maybe monogamy isn't the best thing in the world, but it's the best thing we found.
Yep.
She also said it's worse to leave your partner and talk badly about him afterwards. Well, that's exactly what you did.
Well, you failed at that too, lady. Jesus Christ, you're batting over 2 here.
She said, neither Brad nor I have ever claimed that living together means to be chained together. We make sure that we never restrict each other. So does that mean that he brings other women around in the house at the same time? This is also ironic because I think everyone knows the story that Brad Pitt got with Angelina Jolie when he was still married to Jennifer Aniston, making her a homewrecker.
Yep.
So I don't think that she really respects any relationships, monogamous or not.
Yep. And just because I think you're smoking hot, Angelina, does not mean you get a pass here.
She's definitely in a critical point on that crazy hot scale.
Yeah. It's the eyes and the lips.
Something.
You forgive a lot.
She was with who was she with in that, like...
Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton, where she had like the...
Kissed her brother too.
Pendant full of his blood.
Yeah, she was
very LARPy. It was like
Megan
Fox before Megan Fox was with MGK.
She walked so Megan Fox could
Except
run.
Maybe Billy Bob Thornton had more testosterone in his body than MGK.
Yes, absolutely. And she also like made out with her brother or something.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. That was like, it was. Mary,
why did everyone forget about that?
Mary, it was the 90s.
Was incest okay in the 90s?
Apparently it was
very confused.
Apparently it was okay.
Maybe we did need progress.
Banjo music intensifies.
Yeah. So I also found these other articles about celebrities who talk about the fact that they don't practice monogamy and how they're so above that.
Do you think a lot of this is also just because they're so busy that they don't even have... It's not even about being in a relationship. It's about like not wanting to go home and like having someone you know will be home when you get there, maybe, sort of. The
fact is, celebrities love themselves way too much to love another person in a real, authentic relationship. They're too narcissistic. I don't believe that they're capable of having real, even friendships, to be honest, because their entire lives are about themselves. And also, your job is to be traveling all over the globe. You go to these like tropical locations for like 6 months at a time. It's essentially summer camp where you're in this very intense experience with a circle of people, and you're filming love and sex scenes with a different person than your spouse.
Chris, we
gotta
go for
super chat from Perturbed Alpaca. Brett out here with abuser brand taglines, eyes and lips, you'll forgive a lot.
Well, you know what? You got to type. I say the same thing about Sydney Sweeney because she's got very pretty eyes.
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney's got very pretty eyes. But Chris O'Donnell talked about how he was on the fast track of being he was going to be a movie star, and he wanted to go to do television because he got married and he had kids, and he wanted to be able to. He went and did NCIS LA because he gets to be in the same place and he gets home to see his kids every night. Mm-hmm. So he made
there's nothing wrong with that.
A choice. Granted, he got to kiss Bar Pally on that show, and Bar Pally is a very beautiful woman. So maybe that's we'll have that discussion again another day about whether it's cheating on set. But the point is he made the choice to give up that lifestyle and move to just do television because it allowed him to be closer to his wife and his kids. And I used to make the joke that I'm like, and it shows because he definitely dad bods as the show goes on. Like he's not paying as close attention to his physical fitness. But you have to make that choice. Movie stars can't make that choice because, like you said, they're going around the world. They're always on the move.
Yeah, I think it's interesting also that the celebrities talking about non-monogamy, which is now in this day and age called polyamory.
Yeah.
They're generally attractive people. They're some of the most attractive people that exist.
Yep.
Angelina Jolie, one of the most attractive women alive.
Yep.
But the people that practice polyamory on your TikTok For You page are repulsive
the ugliest
looking
people on earth.
Obese
Yep.
freaks.
Yep.
So what does that say about their lifestyle choice? Yep. Physiognomy is real, folks. If someone is not trustworthy, they will not look trustworthy.
Just saying, Chris O'Donnell did get to make out with this lady, so rough life if you can get it.
Yeah. It's just having a normative family structure and having a normative exclusive marriage, which is meant to be permanent.
Yeah.
Is punished in Hollywood, so that's why they often don't stick by those societal rules or boundaries. But when normal people do it, it's celebrated the same way by the media.
And one of these days, I'll make a list. There are we downplayed, but there are plenty of celebrities that have been married for decades and decades.
I believe it's been statistically looked into, and it's like less than 10% of marriages from like Hollywood couples.
Well, in a world
lasting.
Where in a country where 50% of them for normal people fail too, that doesn't even seem like all that unrealistic.
Well, that
of a
number is inflated by second and third marriages also, and they're obviously second and third marriages are more likely to end in divorce. So if you take first marriages,
it's funny too because Hollywood definitely does the propaganda where like second marriage is the real one. Like
the one that you really found yourself. Yeah, like you really discovered who you were, and you have self-actualization, and then you get married again.
They definitely
the real love of your life.
They do the shtick where it's like, I was too young the first time. I didn't know what I was doing. The second time around, that's when I married for real.
The story of Brangelina's divorce is sad because it sounds like Brad Pitt wanted to reconcile their relationship, wanted counseling, wanted to resolve their issues, and Angelina didn't.
We all know that guys overwhelmingly are not the ones that initiate divorce, that women are the ones that initiate divorce.
But who knows all of these rumors about him abusing their kids or being a whack job are true. They definitely could be because celebrities are insane. But that's a sad story, and it's sort of giving Eat, Pray, Love. Like, as I was saying, the woman in Eat, Pray, Love, it begins with her divorcing her husband in a literal no-fault divorce situation and refusing to reconcile with him after he begs for reconcile.
I'm sorry, but that is one of the biggest things that frustrates me is like, it's all of, we got a $20 one right there.
X said, even poly people get this wrong. Non-monogamy is called that, or ENM with E for ethical. Polyamory is a property of a person, the capacity to have romantic feelings for multiple people as opposed to just passionate feelings.
Okay.
That's stupid. It's not an identity to not be able to hold a real relationship, and the only real relationship is one that you have with one other person. You cannot have real relationships with a group of people.
Look, and the other thing I want to say here is like, look, when it comes to these things, Hollywood and in the music industry for decades has pushed this narrative that like, look, guys are players, guys are the ones that leave, cheating scumbags who leave their girlfriends high and dry. But we know, in the statistics back up that women initiate 70 or 80% of divorces, and even when the relationship's bad, men want to keep trying. They want to keep trying, and a lot of women just want out.
Well, that's a more complex situation when you're talking about people outside of Hollywood. Yeah. For inside Hollywood, I think all men and women from that world act like the player.
Yeah.
They're all that.
Yeah.
Because they're all self-involved and pathologically narcissistic. They cannot focus on anyone but themselves.
Here are some of the women and men who have talked about non-monogamous relationships. Scarlett Johansson, Whoopi Goldberg. In her book, If Someone Says You Complete Me, Run. How dare you? How dare you? Cameron Diaz, pre-marriage to husband Benji Madden, whom she wed in 2015. She says, I don't know how if anyone is really naturally monogamous. Dude, all of these shows, like House did this.
Literally everyone is naturally monogamous.
House did this. Bones did this. It was one of my favorite things about Bones because she would rail against monogamy in the show. And it's just one of the many things that she constantly gets proven wrong about the human condition by Booth. That she's like, it's not natural for people to be monogamous. And then, of course, she gets married to a guy. She's like, I don't believe in religion. Oh, I'll let our kids have. She was like, I don't want kids. Then they have kids. I don't want religion in the house.
That's how it goes a lot of the times in real life.
Yep.
Willow Smith is also on this list.
I saw that.
Can't imagine why she would grow up thinking that monogamy is not the norm.
Jada is on the list as well. Is on the other list.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Will's totally okay with it.
I'm sorry, but the Brian Austin Green one, which is sad because he's in Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles, and this is the saddest one out of all of them. Yeah. I'm going to read this one. Megan Fox and Brian Austin Green. Actors Megan Fox and Brian Austin Green allegedly had a one-sided open relationship at one stage, with Fox allowed the freedom for a fling outside of their marriage. They have a term for that. It's called cuck. Sorry. It says they agreed to an open relationship where Megan can see other men, but Brian can't date anyone else. I can literally feel his penis shrinking. I can see his penis shrinking from here.
And if he had maybe just taken a stand for his own dignity, they wouldn't have gotten divorced in the first place.
Seriously, like at the very least, like either I get to bang other chicks.
Have respect for him.
Either I get to bang other chicks too, or you don't get shit.
Or just be like. Yeah. We're going to have an exclusive relationship, whether you like it or not.
Exactly.
We have kids together, and this is the commitment you've made to me. And I guess if you don't like that, then leave. Like,
she's hot. She's not that hot to sacrifice your dignity, dude. That's embarrassing.
It's crazy. That's the problem. I also saw this awful comment from Hugh Grant. He said, I can see the lovely aspect if you marry exactly the right person, your best friend, and it's cozy and lovely, but people make so many mistakes. Do I think human beings are meant to be in 40-year-long monogamous faithful relationships? No, no, no. Whoever said they were? Only the Bible or something.
Yeah,
you're so much better than those religious people who think that you should be in faithful relationships.
But not even just religious people.
Stupid?
Not even just religious people. Normal people who work normal 9-to-5 jobs, who have bigger concerns in their life, like wanting to start a family. You don't have to be religious to want to start a family, but you certainly do need a stable home to start a family.
I don't know where they got this idea that like monogamy is a product of religion, when in fact like it's just what most people naturally want.
Thank you.
And they clearly don't understand what most people want. Which is why they're also incapable of making rom-coms anymore.
Yeah, well, because they would have to make it polyamorous.
Coming from Hugh Grant of all people.
Yep.
We also have Dolly Parton on this list. She talked about
but we
cheating.
give her a pass.
She said if we cheat, we don't know it. So if we do cheat, it's very good for the both of us.
What?
I don't want to know it if he's cheating on me. If I'm cheating on him, he wouldn't want me to know it.
They've been together for like...
it's what's making it work, then that's fine.
And she's been married for like 40 years.
Crazy.
Her husband is like not in the public eye. He's like a construction foreman or something. He works like a regular job.
Is he crushing it? Or is Dolly Parton?
Apparently, he's been married with her forever. Yeah.
I don't know. That just seems awful that you could say that. Especially, I mean, you're literally admitting it right now.
Yeah.
You're making it known right now that you've cheated on him. So you're going against your own rule.
Courier626 says polycules are the future, not because we want it, but because the rent is too damn high.
Dude.
There's something to be said about that.
That's life in big cities is just all of your relationships, all of the connections you make with people are about real estate at the end of the day.
That's real. Well, I mean, and that's kind of, it's kind of cynical, but that's kind of the argument that I'm making is like the reason that the average person can't afford this luxury view of relationships is because there's bills to pay and you're starting a family together. Both people are working, right? Mm-hmm. The guy's working and the girl's working. We don't live in the fantasy anymore where 80% of the population is men working and the women staying at home. Nowadays, most of the women have to work too in these relationships. So like, can they afford to raise kids, go to work and have these types of relationships? No, they can't because their life doesn't afford that luxury.
Mm-hmm. I also saw this quote from Lizzo about monogamy. She said, monogamy to me is a little claustrophobic because there are rules. Are you saying there's not enough space for you, Lizzo?
That's
I think a love relationship that's not monogamous has no rules. I think people who do poly and all that stuff, there are still rules. I don't want any rules, but that doesn't mean I'm out here. I won't read this part. It doesn't mean he is either. It just means that there are no expectations. And that way, love gets to just be the main event.
Well, none of them want rules and they don't want any boundaries because they're immature.
That's exactly it. Yeah. And maybe that's the same reason she can't stick to a diet. Too many rules.
I hate those rules. The calorie count and going into calorie deficit, those are hard rules to set for yourself.
So stupid. And it's funny because like when you introduce polyamory or non-monogamy or whatever the hell you want to call your degeneracy, that's when the rules come in because everyone naturally is repulsed by that behavior and repulsed by seeing someone they love with another person. So you have to make up a bunch of stupid rules. And it's just not love anymore. And it's not hot anymore when you have to make up a bunch of stupid rules. That's why BDSM is like what has taken over sex right now, like the sex culture, because you have taken every risk out of sex by making it not connected to love and not connected to creating life. So you've taken all the danger out of what it means to have sex, like completely, and you've made it this safe, neutered activity that is essentially
pleasure-based and not designed around reproducing life, and definitely not based on love.
You've taken all the danger out of it, so it's not exciting anymore. So you have to then attach the BDSM stuff to it as an accessory. You have to buy all of these accessories for it, and then like overlay all of these rules onto it so that it can be dangerous again, and it's just not the same.
There is an amazing episode of House where they have a open relationship couple on there, and of course the whole episode is them trying to figure, House is like, no, they're lying, like there's something wrong with it, and she goes no, they're completely open with one another, and he's like, if because basically they have an open relationship, she has boyfriends, he doesn't have girlfriends. There's a $20 one right there.
This one's from Big Derp Energy. Brett, people say they can't afford a family. They can't afford a family with a nice car and the home in the city. They choose entertainment and convenience. Having kids is about sacrifice for all except the very rich.
Well, yes, of course. And to make that sacrifice, then they would have to make that sacrifice on multiple fronts. And people and celebrities are not willing to make any sacrifices because they don't have to, because they've got the money to not have to make them. But the average person, you have to make sacrifices to make your relationships work. Mm-hmm. Right? Okay, so in this episode, right, they the girl, the wife has a boyfriend on the side. The guy doesn't, and he wants to figure out. No, and he wants to figure out why. He goes, if the only reason that he would allow her to have a boyfriend, well, he's not doing anything with any girls, is that he's making up for something else that he did wrong that's even worse than cheating. And it turns out it's that he lost his job and hasn't been able to pay a bill in like a year, and he's been hiding it from her. So he's letting her cheat because he feels guilty about the fact that he's lying to her about their finances. Mm-hmm. And he goes, it's not a unicorn, it's a slutty camel.
If you want to talk about like power imbalances, this is about power imbalances. The Megan Fox and Brian Austin Green one.
Oh, that's
she has all the power.
Dude. All of it. And I mean, and he relinquished that power voluntarily by not setting boundaries.
It was a shit test, if you really think about it.
Putting his foot down. Yeah, like it's embarrassing. I feel, and it's like, it's sad too.
Failed.
If you look at the dude, it's like this, he's a tall, good looking dude. He's got, like they're in the same industry. He's an actor. It's not like there's a power imbalance in their professions. You could say she was a bigger star than him, but so what? Yeah. Like there shouldn't be that level of a difference there. This is more down to his personality, and he let it happen, and that's sad. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.